Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day one of albums that are 30 years old in 2022. Yes, that's right. We're going back to 1992 for this month, in the month of March. 31 days in March. My top 31, my favorite 31 albums from 1992. After you hear my pick, I'm asking you each to list your pick in the comments below. That's how we work it on these kind of like retrospective look back at specific years in music. Today for my pick number 31, right? It's technically day one, but it is my number 31 pick. An album that was released April 27th, 1992 for Virgin Records, produced by Gus Dudgeon. Talking about the 12th studio album from British, I don't even know what you call these guys, pop, new wave, experimental, I don't know. XTC doesn't really have a description that fits. None Such from XTC. Really cool album, really fun album, very uplifting album. I find a lot of the XTC albums, it's one of these bands that I got into really late, and I really didn't start to appreciate them until like the last couple of years. It's one of those bands that a lot of people I know like, and people have always told me, I'm surprised you don't listen to these guys. And I was always like, what I've heard hasn't really done a lot to me. But, as you get older, your tastes kind of mellow out a little bit, and I have found a lot to like in this catalog, and it's not a band that I reach for all that often, but when I'm in the mood for some kind of light, kind of whimsical, very positive, uplifting music, XTC usually is one of the ones that I reach for. I find bands like, XTC and 10cc, a lot of C's going on there, have this kind of quality. It's kind of, I guess, a British thing. But music on this album is very bright and jangly and upbeat, lots of good vocal harmonies, and it's quirky. The kind of like the hard rocker in me oftentimes gets frustrated with bands like XTC because it's like I want more guitar thunder. I want a little bit more like experimentation in some of the arrangements. I want riffs and things like that. But I think once I got it out of my head that that's not what these guys are all about at all. In those moments when I have like a desire to hear something that's not quite that I just explained, but I want this like kind of like feel good uplifting music, this band fits the bill perfectly. So we've got, let's see, in the band at the time of this album, we've got Andy Partridge, of course, on vocals, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, harmonica, tambourine, percussion, shaker, synthesizers, bell tree. You got Colin Moulding, his partner in crime there, vocals, bass guitar, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, and Dave Gregory, electric guitar, electric 12-string guitar, acoustic guitar, piano, synths, Hammond organ, so on and so forth. You got Dave Maddox on drums on this album. You got Gus Dudgeon on all sorts of percussion, Guy Barker, flugelhorns and trumpet, Florence Lovegrove on viola, Rose Hull on cello, Stuart Gordon on violin, Gina Griffin on violin, and Neville Farmer on chorus. Various other folks helping out with the mixing, engineering, and producing and all that sort of thing. A lot of songs on this album. This album is comprised of lots of little short kind of pop tracks, right? Like I said, it's very jangly, poppy, charming, very British sounding. You've got the Ballad of Peter Pumpkinhead kicking things off. I have kind of like a strange relationship with that song because Peter Pumpkinhead, my name is Peter. When I was growing up, I had all of my elder relatives always tease me and call me Peter Pumpkin Eater. That's what my nickname was when I was a kid growing up. But this is a really charming song, harmonica notwithstanding. I think it's a great, catchy little pop tune. You've got Dear Madam Barnum, really good, engaging song. Humble Daisies, excellent. What else? I love Hollyana. Poppy is a terrific, catchy pop song. Again, this kind of like breezy, whimsical, just feel good stuff. You listen to this, again, it's not rockin' music at all, but I dig it. Crocodile is an interesting track. Crocodile to me almost sounds like what early 80s era King Crimson might have sounded like if they decided we're just going to be a pop band. All right, so I'm talking about the Discipline era lineup of Fripp and Ballou and Levin. Fripp, Ballou, Levin, and Bruford. That's right. It's like, who did I miss there? Crocodile, really cool little song. You got, what else? War Dance is another fun song. The Ugly Underneath is good. Bungalow is fun. Books Are Burning. All really good, short, 3-minute pop songs for the most part. It's fun. Again, not an everyday listen for me, but that's okay because when I'm in the mood for it, I know I can reach for XTC, pretty much any of their albums, and get some enjoyment that kind of takes me away from the metal bombast or the prog bombast or the intricacies of jazz and fusion and all that sort of thing. So it's nice to have a band like this that I can appreciate that gives me something else other than what I normally get. So None Such, 1992, that is my pick for day one. In the comments below, please let us know what you think of this XTC album, as well as your pick for day one here, as we look back on the great albums, our favorite albums from 1992, celebrating 30 years old. They are 30, their 30th birthday this year, their 30th anniversary, whatever you want to call it. We're going to do this each and every day during the month of March. I've got my list ready to go, so stay tuned for more coming up tomorrow. And what else do we have? We've got In the Prog Seat tonight. We're going to finish up our look at our Desert Island Prog discs. We've got our top 10 prog albums of all time. And again, let's just in the Prog Seat show, we cover progressive rock, progressive metal, and jazz fusion. We put them all together because those three genres are pretty much intertwined, and a lot of us who listen to this sort of thing, it's very different from regular metal. Like, we would not talk about thrash metal and death metal and black metal and power metal on this particular show. These are basically these bands, these artists, these acts that are very progressive minded with all these intricate arrangements and instrumentation, sometimes instrumental music, sometimes with vocals, prog, fusion, prog metal. That's what we cover on In the Prog Seat. For those of you wondering why some of our lists at times have fusion albums and a prog album and a prog metal album, well, because we put them all together on this show. So we covered our 6 through 10 last week. Tonight we're going to be doing our top 5. So stay tuned for that here on the channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell. We also have the link to our Ko-Fi page below for channel donations, the link to our merch page where you can get all sorts of cool Sea of Tranquility gear. And we'll see you tomorrow morning for another episode of albums that are 30 years old in 2022 as we spend the entire month in 1992. I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. See you real soon. Bye-bye.